2, 1. It's that time of the day. Welcome to the 4th Street Sports Show, an award-winning student podcast covering all things Golden Eagles. Welcome back to 4th Street. It is your host, Smooth Oz. Along with my co-host here, I have to my right side of me, Charlie, Jackson, and on the left, Nathan, the Nate Dog Lee. Also, shout out to Sky in the producing room right there. Shout out to Sky. We are missing one person today. We're missing today Demon, so he's going to be truly missed today. Shout out to Demon wherever he is, of course. We just hope he's not in the strip club. But without further ado, just a quick overview of the show. We're going to get into our Eagle Eye. We're going to talk a little bit of Southern Miss versus Troy football. And then we have our special interview with Southern Miss men's basketball assistant coach Juan Cardona and senior forward Felipe Haase. And so we're looking forward to talking to them and talking about all things Golden Eagles basketball. And last but not least, we're going to get into our honorable mention section and give out our flowers. So stick around for that to see who is the 4th Street Player of the Week. But without further ado, Jackson, let's talk a little bit of Eagle Eye. Take it away with Southern Miss volleyball.
Let's talk volleyball. They improved to 12-6 and 4-2 in Sun Belt Conference play after earning a sweep on the road against the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks. Mia Wesley again led the attack with 15 kills and a double-double in the first game, then followed it up with 19 kills and 5 aces in game number 2. Wesley is just 18 kills shy of 1,000 on her career. She just continues to bolster that resume.
Dog.
Southern Miss's defense showed out as well, holding ULM to .087 percentage in the first match. The Golden Eagles will continue their road stretch by playing Texas State in San Marcos, Texas on October 14th and 15th. They will start Friday at 6 p.m.
Seems like a really good performance from volleyball. And moving on to soccer, well, the Golden Eagles have only won one game in nearly 2 months from the start of the season. Got to remember that they played a really tough, SEC-only non-conference slate. But they have started Sunbelt play and only won one game so far. They did earn a point, though, on the week with a 1-1 draw against Troy at home Sunday. Blessing Kingsley scored her first goal of the season in the 4th minute of that game, but the Golden Eagles could not score for the rest of the game, and Troy scored the equalizer at the beginning of the second half. So they bounced back from that 4-1 loss against Coastal Carolina earlier in the week and are now 1-7-3 on the season and 1-3-2 in the Sun Belt, and right now that has them 5th in their division behind ULM.
Last but not least, women's golf started competition today at the Lady Red Wolves Classic in Jonesboro, Arkansas, where the event runs from today till tomorrow. So currently we don't have any stats on that, but we'll have some later on on the show. Also, last but not least, men's golf also started their tournament play at the Oregon State Invitational today, so that is also going on. We're going to have some stats on that hopefully in our last section of the day, in our flower section. But without further ado, let's talk some Southern Miss football here as they took on the Troy Trojans this past Saturday, where they would lose 27-10. Without further ado, play the clip, Sky.
I thought defensively, we had good pressures. I thought we kept us in the game for a long time until the turnovers mounted and the short field happened, and then it kind of snowballed there at the end.
Coming off the bye week to open conference play, Southern Miss took on the Trojans of Troy, losing 27-10.
I thought we played good enough defensively early to keep us in it, and we've got to get better offensively, and then we've got to have a play in the kicking game or a play defensively while we're getting better offensively to get us over that hump.
The Golden Eagles offense struggled mightily behind freshman QB Zach Wilkie with 4 turnovers on the night, being sacked 5 times.
I thought it was unfortunate that, his first 2 picks were tough. One very well could have been a pass interference. It was really tough. But that weighs on you as a quarterback. We got to put that behind us. And the second one was a really tough deal on him as well. And I think he maybe let that get to him because the next 2 pass plays, we had 2 people wide open. One in the flat, Cole Cavallo, the next one curled, and he missed high both times. And so he's got to learn from that, right? And play one play at a time, and he will. He's a great kid with a lot of talent.
To just stay poised and stay focused, like just go to the next place. I mean, you're a young quarterback, like you're gonna mess up, but like you gotta keep going because there's still a lot of games left to be played, and you can't just sit back and just wonder on the mess up. You just need to go forward.
A bright spot for the Golden Eagles offense was wideout Jason Brownlee, scoring the only touchdown of the day for the Golden Eagles with a career high in receptions of 12 for 105 yards.
But we got to be able to make enough plays and not turn the football over. The disappointing thing tonight was we turned it over. It put us into some hard situations, and then we had some things there that we felt like we just really, really poorly executed.
You gotta fight for your right to play.
As usual, that was our weekly wrap coming from Troy, Alabama. Guys, what are your immediate thoughts and just overview of this past weekend about the Golden Eagles football, and especially just the offensive wise? It kind of seemed like a setback from the past 2 weeks ago. From 2 weeks ago when they took on Tulane, where they had no turnovers. Prior to last Saturday, there were no turnovers in the last two games for the Golden Eagles. So this game, they would have 4 turnovers. Just immediate thoughts, guys.
I will say that this game had a lot of similarities to the Tulane game, and even Coach Hall said that, minus the turnovers. And obviously when you're going to lose the turnover differential, especially with, still, even though the offense has improved, they're still, lacking in a lot of areas. So when you're not putting up big production and you're losing the turnover differential, you're not going to win a game. So I think the expectations, from Tulane were coming into this game were high, but kind of got simmered down after that because it was, the poorest performance from Wilkie so far. On Wilkie's behalf, I didn't believe the third interception actually happened. I think they got cheesed on that one, but still just not a good performance. And we'll get into that. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about, other things about the offense.
It's kind of like how Will Hall said post-game. Once you throw one interception, that kind of weighs on you, and something Wilkie might have to work better on, being a true freshman, is moving on, playing one play at a time, because he kind of called it a snowball effect, right? He had that first interception, which really, kind of a good play. Wasn't that bad of a throw by him. And then he had the second interception, which wasn't great. Third interception, like you said, Charlie, debatable whether it was or wasn't, but it still wasn't an amazing decision by him. And then he had to sack fumble at the end of the game. It's just offense is the story, right? You take away the turnovers, and it's a completely different ball game. But even without the turnovers, it's not like they were really driving the ball down the field. And we know that Troy is a good defense. We've talked about that all week, all bye week, too. They're a good defense, and they're going to, stop Southern Miss's offense. But for the degree that they did it, and the fact that the turnovers were seemingly self-inflicted, it was just kind of negative to see. And going against Arkansas State, an inferior defense, you would hope they can get that figured out this week.
Of course, and just to list out Zach Wilkie's stats, he went 19 for 35 for 157 yards. Also, like you guys stated, he would throw 3 interceptions, would have 1 touchdown, but also would have a fumble on the night. Take it away, Nathan.
Yeah, I think Charlie hit it right on the nose, honestly. I think recency bias got the best of people around the area. When you see a team like Southern Miss do really good against Tulane, no turnovers, defense looks good, offense is productive. Maybe we got, caught up in the moment, maybe. I know I did, thinking that this offense had figured something out, maybe got over that hill, but they obviously haven't. And that's what you come to expect with a young team. With the big questions coming in this season, offensive line and quarterback play, and those were the stories of the game. The quarterback play was not good. No knock on Wilkie, but it was his worst game as a starter as a Southern Miss Golden Eagle, and the offensive line just got dominated. Dominated. I mean, Troy proved they have the best defense probably in the Sun Belt West. I think we can all agree on that, and James Madison in the East. But yeah, it was just a dominant performance for Troy defensively, and they proved it. Southern Miss has got some things to fix before they move on to the Red Wolves out there. Who are they playing next week? Arkansas State. Red Wolves. I thought that's what it was. But yeah, they gotta fix some things over there, and I think we can all agree that defense is legit, though. I think we can all agree on that.
But I think when you look at this score, like they were in the game until the fourth quarter, and then I look at like the play calling of. I know Brownlee had a great game,
12
but
receptions,
yeah, and 16 targets when Wilkie threw 35 passes. Like, the rest of the targets, Janari Dean got 3. I think 2 of those were on the last drive.
All of them.
All of them, exactly. So the rest you have are 2 from Frog, and I think those were on the same drive.
One of those.
Okay, yeah,
Same
and
for
then
Cavallo.
okay, yeah. So the stats wrong, but yeah, Cavallo. So it's like the rest of the game. When you're playing a defense like that, I mean, it's one guy. Football can't be won like that. And I look at that too at the running game too. This is something I've been saying is I wish they were getting more runners involved. Frank Gore still had a good night, even though the stats are gonna show 1.8 averages as the team for rushing, but that's because of sack yardage lost. He still had a good game. He's averaging 4.5 yards per carry, but still the fact that Rashard and Dean only got 1 carry each, and it was like third down and other play didn't matter. So it's just like you wish you would see more from this defense and offense, and I think that comes from play calling.
Yeah, I completely agree with the running back. I just think there should be more by committee.
Yes. And also, just to talk about that too, like you said, the lack of variety there in the run game. You didn't see a lot of the 2-back sets. It was strictly Frank Gore, and it was a lot of up the middle play calls and stuff like that, not to get them to the outside and things. But also to talk about that, a guy that Dima said would have 150 yards on the prediction podcast was a non-factor. He didn't even have. I think he only had like 1 target or so, Charlie. And Caston, he was non-existent. He didn't even have a reception or anything. So that was kind of a guy that had been building up that momentum, 2 back-to-back games over 80, 90 plus yards, and you kind of falter back again. It's like, man, the offense kind of it took a huge step back, being that you had this extra week to prepare for Troy, and just to come out this flat was just abysmal. It was kind of abysmal to see that. But Troy is a great defense. They played well, forced 4 turnovers, and had a phenomenal just defense. Like the one guy that got an interception on Wilkie for the second pick was a one-handed catch. Like you couldn't.
Oh, that was
anything,
beautiful.
Yes, you could. It was a beautiful catch. But you just think about it, Troy. Their defense is solid, but Southern Miss, though they were there for the most part, half of the game. At half it was 7-3, but you look at it and it's seemingly like they were in the game, but they didn't feel in the game, and that was kind of what happened last year. If you think about last year, if you go back to when Ty Keys got the start, Troy was in. Southern Miss was there in the game, but it didn't feel like they were in the game, and Zach Wilkie got pressured almost the same way that Ty Keys got pressured 2 years ago, a year ago, matter of fact.
On the defensive side, there was a couple lapses. We were talking over the middle of the field, but you got to give credit to what they were able to do on the defensive line. 4 sacks, and then also those 2 interceptions. It could have, this game could have been, I think Demas said 27-7 at halftime. Yeah. Because, the one interception, Jay Stanley, it was in the end zone. Yeah. That was a drive that they were getting ready to score, and then the other by Cam, I think, was in their in Southern Miss's field.
Yeah, it was in the field territory, and that allowed that. And actually, not to steal the sign, I said that, but I said the 27.
Oh, okay.
But it was just Southern Miss only scored 3 points off of non-turnovers in the whole game. Both teams scored a total of 27 points off of turnovers.
That's a good sign.
Just think about that. Only 10 points were scored not off turnovers, and that was the Troy's first drive in the second half that kicked off the whole thing, and that kind of transferred the momentum of this game.
That's a good sign for the defense, not for the offense.
Yeah, it's not.
But looking at the offense, looking ahead to next week, Arkansas State, I don't have the exact number, but one of the worst pass defenses in the league. So if there's any time to have a get back game, it's this week. So we'll have to see if Wilkie can rebound off of Saturday's woes.
Of course, and we will have to see, and we will be back after a break to have our special guest and assistant basketball men's coach Juan Cardona and senior forward Felipe Haase. We'll be back for more 4th Street, baby. to 4th Street. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our special guest today. We have assistant basketball coach Juan Cardona and senior forward Felipe Haase. Welcome on the show, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. Just a quick overview of the two. Juan Cardona is the new assistant coach for the Golden Eagles, joining the team from Mercer and also having experience at Miami Christian High School in Miami, Florida, where Felipe Haase is also from, where he led the program. Coach Cardona led the program to 2 state titles. He also led the Miami Tropics AAU program from 2016 to 2019 and also coached for 7 different pro organizations in Puerto Rico and Mexico as well. And also, as I stated, we have Felipe Haase, who is coming from Mercer and Miami Christian High School, too. So, guys, could you just talk about the connection you two built up just coming to Southern Miss? It seems like a story that's just foretelling. Like, how could this happen? Like, could y'all just talk about that?
I'll start it real quick. It's been a crazy relationship. I know Coach Juan for 7 years now. We clicked right away when I met him in Miami. Had the opportunity for play for him over there, and after that I had to go away to play for South Carolina. Then I moved to Mercer when I found out he was going to take the job over there. So I decided to transfer over there, and it happened basically the same over here, and I didn't doubt the opportunity. Heard great things about Coach Lanner too, so it wasn't that hard to make a decision and come to Southern Miss.
For me is I mean, Felipe has been the guy that changed the future of my family. You know what I mean? Because we met through a text message, so I never knew him. I knew of him, but I saw him play the FIBA qualifiers because his team was trying to go to the World Championships. And they were playing Puerto Rico. I said, I see this big man. I'm like, hold on. What are we watching here? So I shoot him a messenger text, and next day he responded. And at the time, he had like 5-7 offers of high schools that wanted him to go over there. But we clicked right away, and from there we've been together. You know what I mean? And like he said. First of all, he thought I was a trainer because first day he got there, I put him into some crazy circuits and running and all that stuff. Like, what am I doing here? But everything at the end made sense, and man, I you know he knows I love him like a son, and his family to me and to our family. And when the situation came about at Southern Miss, I mean, we needed a guy that can put all the pieces together. You know what I mean? And people, they don't realize Felipe. All he had coming out of high school was Louisville, Purdue, was South Carolina, but at the end of the day, he chose the best situation for him, and we're right back together because we always talked about La Familia, and I think if you keep it simple like that, the family will take care of you. You take care of the family will take care of you.
Of course. Now, would you say you guys are inseparable now?
At some point we know we're gonna, he's gonna have his own route, and that hopefully will be the NBA. That's how highly I think of him, but hey, I'm just happy to see him develop and become the man that he's becoming every day.
And Felipe was talking to us about kind of the other guys too, because now. Got a lot of other guys. Coach Ladder credited you to kind of bringing them to. Just overall, kind of what connection does this team have, and how does that play into just how y'all work?
Like I said in the press conference the other day, it's been an easier adaptation for how much work and new stuff we're trying to do. Like the adaptation in terms of just changing the whole defense, offense system. It's been very easy for them reasons too. I get along with Nefta, play with him for forever now. Nico and Marcelo, I know what they like to do and stuff like that. But the other guys were the ones that I really adapted really quick too. Like AC, Austin Crowley is amazing, and Dre, Najee been really good, and Najee. Stuff that they make it easy for you to adapt, and I'll take a lot of credit for that. So it's not just the relationship that I had before with my other teammates. It's an overall of how Coach Lanner preaches practice and makes everybody involved and keeps everybody together. That helps you fit in right away without taking too much. That's why.
Oh, and for us, it's been fun because like he was alluding to, it's a lot of work, man. You know what I mean? And but Felipe Haase is a guy that's and not because he's here. You know what I mean? I'll tell him without, he knows how I feel about him. The second he walks in a court, he'll make everybody else better. You know what I mean? Because you as a coaching staff, you gotta be ready to coach him because he'll think about what you're saying and if it doesn't make sense, you know what I mean, you're gonna kind of lose him a little bit. So and he's all about, and that will be for the coaches, but on the player side, everybody loves him because he's about everybody else, and at the end he'll think about him. And what that's been our biggest thing, where I know sometimes, and Coach Latner has seen it a little bit, sometimes it will require individual talent. And he brings that. But because he makes it about everybody else will know when his time on the game will be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's been fun all around. I think we have a special team. And we're putting it together little by little. I don't know if you guys heard what I said in the previous interview, but man, it's about them, and we're just riding the wave with them. Yes, sir.
I want to ask you a little bit about yours and Coach Ladner's background. I've got a quote here from Coach Ladner at the press conference. I flew over to watch one of his players, and he and I just kind of hit it off. I recruited one of his players, and afterward, he and I went to Hooters. Could you just talk about
No doubt.
y'all's meeting and how maybe y'all's relationship has grown throughout the years?
No, I respect Coach Latner like you guys don't have. I mean, have no idea, because I respect that he comes from the bottom, doing the high school gig, then JUCO. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing that was given to him. He earned everything he's gotten in life, and when he flew down there, it was a 6 a.m. workout that I had, and I was. You know what I mean? And I was screaming. He thought something was happening, like for real. You know what I mean? And but that's the way that we run stuff down there. And I just trying to make it about the kids, because if the more kids we get into Division I, the better the program will be. So and there's a different way that if you make it about kids, God will make sure you'll be okay. You know what I mean? I don't know how it works, but it does. And so when we met, he was recruiting one of my point guards, Harry Santiago, and when he saw him in Miami Christian, right after we were doing some, we started talking in X and O's and what type of defense he runs. I mean, just basketball talk. So we went to Hooters and we hit it off right away. We always stay in contact. I always told him, whatever I can do to help. You know what I mean? We always stay connected. And the opportunity presented itself, and we're here, and I'm having a blast. It's been a blessing to me and my family, and you're gonna see it the way we work. You're gonna see it the way we play and work every day in this basketball season.
And just overall, kind of short period from now, from when y'all came and the start of the season, just overall, what's your experience been here in Hattiesburg on campus and just, within the program?
It's been good, to be fully honest. I didn't have much expectations about Southern Miss. I didn't know much, but when we came in to visit, I saw it. I like the atmosphere. It is a very close and like, how do you say, like the culture of sports in Southern Miss has always been good from back in the day. So you can see that. You can see the old arena, like, is this, I guess, the same way it is, just the course changing. So you feel that something has happened here before. So in that terms, on the court, it's been great. Off the court, I'm loving it. It's just, we have a great time with the guys. We always in contact with each other, just making fun of each other, just having a good time. So that's been really good. And on the court, it's been straight up business. We we get out of court just hurting and just elbow somebody. You have fights on the court. I'm saying fights, but it's just competitive stuff. And when you get off the court, it's just laughs and good times. So I'm really appreciative of that from the team. So I ain't got nothing bad to say as right now, and I hope I don't. But it's been great. It's been great.
Also, Felipe, just in your last year of eligibility this year, could you just talk about what do you what do you look forward to bringing to this team and setting the tone for this year, especially in your last year?
I win. Last year, I feel like I had a pretty good year personally, but we didn't make it to a tournament. That is the ultimate goal. So, other than just personal stuff and all that, is to the side. I mean, I'm the old guy in the team. I know that if you win, everything else takes care of itself. So the main point and the only point is winning. So that's my main focus this season, and everything else will take care of itself if you just do the right things.
Felipe, you touched on culture a little bit earlier. We asked Coach Ladner. He says he thinks that's the difference between maybe last year's Southern Miss squad and this year's, the veteran-led culture. So how's that culture been? How's that compared to maybe other places? And do you think he's on to something there?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Do you see our blood boilers or whatever it's called, the drills? We just dive on the floor just to start practice. It's like breakfast. You know, you just get up and you just know that you have to dive for loose balls, take charges, and stuff like that. Is before it used to be like, oh, we have charges, or other teams like we have drills that require you giving out your body for the team, and it's like it doesn't feel right. You feel is not the thing. But here, it took, I don't know, before I even got here in the summer, they were doing these drills and everybody was already on point. They knew it was just what you gotta do, and that's how cultures are. Like you just know you just gotta do the right things, and that's what it's supposed to do, and you gotta do it. And it's been like that since I got here in June or something. So like that's just culture that keeps growing, and people just come and sees that, and they know they gotta do it because that's how it's run. So it's been great. Coach Ladner is on point on that for sure, and we're just trying to keep building it more and more and more.
Coach, could you touch on the veteran-led culture as well? Have you seen the progress that Coach Ladner and Felipe have talked about?
No doubt, and to refer back to the point that Felipe is making, every coach has to figure out what class is going to help them. You know what I mean? And that's why in Division I you get 3-year, 4-year, 5-year contract, because it doesn't happen overnight. But finally you get a leader like Felipe. Now you got leaders in other spots, in other positions. Now you're going to have a different type of team, because at the end of the day, we are as good as the players we get. You know what I mean? The basketball coaches, I mean, they looking for that class that can change their life. You know what I mean? College, high school, professional, you're as good as the players you get. And I think we as a staff, starting with Coach Ladner, Nick Williams, Say Carson, all the staff members, the staff is great, man. And if you want to lead down there in the court, you got to start being you need a unit on the top in the office, you know what I mean, as a staff. And I think this class, this year, they picked us 14, but they will regret picking us 14, because we're gonna feel, and like I said, people think I'm emotional. No, Bobby, I've been doing this since 18 years old, and I'm 44. I know when I see a team that can go places. Now, winning is very hard, but me, like I always have this conversation with Coach, I'll take this team against anybody. Now, you got to bring it every day, because when you come here, when we go to you, it's business. Because out of 14 teams, it's only one going to the tournament. You know what I mean? So that right there is business right away. And whatever they say, we're 14, they can pick us 20 if they want. That's why you play this season now. They'll see when they see Southern Miss, they're like, what's happened here? So that's I told one interview like 2 weeks ago that we're gonna win it, and I stand by it. I'm not gonna change. I mean, and if people want to talk and just side talks, whatever, I'm okay with that. Whatever you think we are, we agree. Can we move on? We're gonna be ourselves no matter where we go, and you're gonna see it. We're gonna show it with actions, and that's all I gotta say. You know what I mean? So we have a special group of guys that love each other and they like each other, right? So when you got that type of chemistry, starting like he said, and he said it that he's the older guy. He is the older guy, but he's been through some battles. And we're talking about a guy here that had the opportunity to go pro and made a lot of money and come here because he want to live that experience and go into the NCAA tournament. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? So if we get the goals ready to go since day one, you're gonna see the result and at the end of the season. But if you don't know what you're going, you can go anywhere. So we're very excited. I'm sorry I took a little long, but that's how I feel. And I'll say it here. I say it 2 weeks from now. I know where we going. Right? So whoever picks us 14 is going to look very bad.
Coach, I was going to ask you what kind of coach you were, but I think you just put it on display.
No, that's the only way I know how to be. You know what I mean? Because I don't have anything else. This is what I do. I'm a basketball coach. I just can't stop today and do something else. You know what I mean? My family depends on it, and I think I show it every day what the deal is.
Coach, and
I jump in real quick, and that's every day. Every day from 6 in the morning, for 4 in the morning, to whatever time you go to bed. It's just non-working stuff, and it's something that me personally has helped me a lot, just to bring it, because you gotta match somebody's energy. So the team feels the same way, and when we see it, it's just different. It's every day, 24/7, non-stop energy and motion that it's key, I think, for this team.
And just going back into that culture right there, Coach, both of you guys have played for your national teams and coached for the national teams. Could you just talk about being Hispanic Heritage Month? What does that mean for you guys to rep your culture and bring it here to Mississippi?
I always say it here. It's nothing that gives me more chills than just standing here in my national team and singing my national team before I'm about to play any game for my national team. So it's something that it's with me all the time. I got my flag in my room. It's something that it's always, whatever I'm going through basketball wise, is for me to prepare to take my national team where I want to be. So culture, my personal culture, my country are related to basketball. Everything is just everything to me. Like I said, it's nothing that drives me more than that. And just proud all the time. Every time, where you from? I always say, like, my team. Like, I don't say Miami or anything that I've been. It's just Chile. That's my thing. That's what I really live for or motivates me to. So it's plain and simple. It's everything to me. So I'll pass it out to him.
Oh, and I think when you go see, like, for example, Chile play in the national team, the fans are crazy. You know what I mean? Because that's who represents them as a country. And you go to Argentina, you go to Brazil, they have a different passion for what they do. You know what I mean? So now when you bring that type of culture here, it basically means that they don't take anything for granted. You know what I mean? Because they only what percentage out of the NCAA guys from Latin America or from Europe that can play college basketball. You know what I mean? So you actually taking somebody else's places. I mean, somebody else plays in college basketball, but they earned it. There's nothing that's been given. You know what I mean? They whatever they've been before, they have done their job, right? And when they played out there and TV, they're a reflection of their family, mom, dad. All those days where they didn't see it, but mom and dad just kept being persistent. The mentors, we have a great mentor together, Art Alvarez, that gave us an opportunity in Miami. You know what I mean? That, being a Cuban guy, you know what I mean? That understand the culture, and we just got to be elements of help. You know what I mean? Just to help the guys who's going to come next to us, after us. What I wanted to say, because there's not a lot of opportunities. You know what I mean? So now you get and he hates when I do this. You get a Felipe Haase on campus now. When he can go, whoever's coming from Latin America, said, man, Felipe went there. Let me check that place out, because if he was successful there, now I might be successful as well. So now he becomes a recruiter for you, but you got to make it about the kids. You know what I mean? If you don't make it about the kids, you have no chance at recruiting, because when they talk, they're gonna talk. Players talk. So when whoever comes up talks to Felipe and say, no, man, just don't go there. Or the way we put in our program together is go there because they're going to take care of you. You're going to have fun instead of nothing. Like everything's going to be the way they said it was going to be. And you're going to get better as a player because that's at the end of the day, that's what happens. And you have to have an exit plan where after here, they're going to take care of. What I mean is after college, you're going to get a pro contract because they have those type of connections. So everything makes sense. You go help the family will help you. Simple.
Of course, and before we get you guys out of here, any last thoughts and words on the season coming up?
1 month away from today.
Yes.
Yeah, 1 month. It's been quick. I'm happy for that on some terms because it means I'm having fun, a lot of fun, and just excited, man. Excited to do the things right, and that will bring people to the gym. It'll even help the culture on the court even more by just getting people connected, more fans, more everything. So it's just exciting. Can't wait, and hopefully, like Coach Juan said, make that guy that picked us 14 or them guys that picked us 14 look very bad. So that's what I got.
This is my second time saying this, right? Buy your tickets or your season tickets because you don't want to be left out. Because we're gonna fill it up. That is 8,500, right? There are gonna be people waiting to get in. That's all I'm saying. Some people will believe me, another one won't. But that's okay. When they be asking you guys for tickets, they say, hey, they told you, and they told you a month before. So appreciate you guys having me and having Felipe here, man. I'm excited and blessed to be here to do what we love and looking forward to meeting everybody that's gonna support us. I mean, and the ones that doesn't support us as well, because they're gonna be the ones saying, "Oh, we always knew you could do it." You know what I mean? So it's all love for everybody and respect.
Thank you, Coach. Okay.
Sorry, missed to the top.
Amen.
Thank y'all.
Thank you,
Yes,
Coach
thank y'all.
Felipe. Without further ado, we'll be back from break. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Southern Miss men's basketball assistant coach Juan Cardona and senior forward Felipe Haase. We'll be back with our flowers section soon to wrap up 4th Street.
Thank you.
4th Street, and we got Mo Dogs on 88.5 this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the show. We're now giving flowers.
Welcome back to 4th Street. You have now entered our last segment of the day, brought to you by University Floors and Gifts on Highway 49 for our flowers section. Without further ado, we will hop into our honorable mentions. But before we do, just shout out to Coach Juan Cardona, the assistant coach Juan Cardona, and Felipe Haase, senior forward here at Southern Miss, playing for the basketball team here. Just shout out to them. Coach has me ready to run through a brick wall, as all of us do now. He was definitely fired up, and that was a great interview. So shout out to those two for coming on 4th Street and talking to us about Southern Miss basketball. Kicking off in a month, Charlie, with the first game being against Delta State on November the 1st, man. So that'll be an expedition match, so we'll look forward to that. So let's get into our flowers section. So drop the drum roll, guys. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm trying to sound like a game show host. That was a terrible joke.
And now,
There we go, Jackson. I should probably have you do it next time. But our 4th Street Player of the Week goes to none other than Blessing Kinsley on the Southern Miss soccer team, which she recorded her first goal of the season in a 1-1 draw versus Troy. Say it one more time. Dog. She's a dog. So they had a tie versus Troy in a 1-1 draw, as I stated. Congratulations to Blessings for winning 4th Street Player of the Week. Man, it was a tight race, but Blessing got it. So congratulations to her. But without further ado, let's hop into some honorable mentions. I know, Jackson, you have a flower to give out yourself.
yeah, I'm going to give a flower based on our trip this weekend. I know we made it home safely. I want to give some flowers to Dima. He drove
Congratulations, Dima.
Dima, a.k.a. Green Wave. Why do I call him Green Wave? Because he likes to drive in 2 lanes. So shout out to him. I know he's probably listening from the club, so shout out to you.
Hopefully he's not in the club. But the real reason Dima is not here, for you not knowing, he is not in the club, guys. He's had...
What?
Yeah, he was a little bit upset at us for saying that. But
It's a running joke.
yes,
It's
it's a running joke now. But he's at worship today, church service worship today. So congratulations to Dima, man. We miss him, man.
Yeah, we
but
did.
always, put your praise first, man. So, without further ado, any last honorable mentions before I talk about the team?
Yeah, the team. What? Yeah, obviously, our rest of our nominees. We still don't know how Mia Wesley hasn't won an award yet, but she will. We know that. She got 34 kills, 16 digs, 6 service aces. Also, Jason Brownlee's 12 catches were a career high, 105 yards, a touchdown. And then Dominic Kewan got 3 tackles, 2 sacks, and a breakup at the line. So he was an impactful player too.
3 dogs.
3 dogs.
Dogs.
3 dog night.
Of course, and without further ado, also just a quick update, ladies. Women's golf is taking place at the Ladies Red Wolves Classic. We're looking for the live stats, but they have not been updated just yet. And also, men's golf is at a tournament also at Oregon State. So those are some things taking place currently. Now for the week. But without further ado, the Cowboys are 4-1, guys. I just have to say it. Cooper Rush is 5-0 as a starter.
Rush hour.
Dog. The rush hour. And we beat the reigning Super Bowl champs. And the Saints also got to win. Nathan was at that game. Tell us about the game, Nathan.
Yes. Saints have the same record as the 2 teams in the Super Bowl last year. That makes a Saints fan feel good. Who dat?
Yeah.
Andy Dalton's not the guy, but Taysom Hill is the guy. He's got that dog in him.
Dalton played well.
Dalton played good enough to get a win,
Yes.
but Taysom Hill is the only reason Saints won that game. So I just want to shout out old Taysom Hill.
I would say Dalton might not be a dog, but he's definitely a dog.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
It's not a slight dog.
It's like,
He's a puppy.
but also, guys, the MLB playoffs is taking place also. There's just some things taking
Go Braves.
place. Yes, go Braves. And just a little, just what happened from Saturday. We started. We were in Alabama. We made it to Alabama and we went to Mugshots.
Oh yeah.
And the game. Who was it again, guys?
Oh man.
It was the baseball game. It went on for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
They went to the 15th inning.
the Guardians versus
Yeah,
the
yes.
That game started. We were at Mugshots. We got
It was
there
like
around
6
11,
hours.
and
Yeah,
then we
went
got
15
to
innings.
Troy. Yeah, and it was still going on. So
Yep.
Former Golden Eagle
Yeah.
Nick Sandlin pitched in that game.
Wow.
Shout out to him.
Yeah,
shout out
congrats,
to Nick
Flowers.
Sandlin. Flowers.
Unfortunately, he's going to lose tomorrow against the New York Yankees.
Bias.
Sorry about it.
We'll have to see. As unfortunately though, my Red Sox are not in it.
Hey, my
Bro,
brother's
you
a Red
are just
Sox
a
fan.
bandwagon. Austin's just a bandwagon
I've
fan.
been like the Red Sox since Dave Ortiz and Dustin Pedroia.
You must be so embarrassed.
This is his fan base: Red Sox, Lakers, and Cowboys. That's enough to
can't beat
tell
me.
you about
The
that,
American
man.
dream, baby.
The American team.
You like Duke basketball?
No, of course not. I do not.
In North Carolina.
I actually do like North Carolina. It's Texas. Texas is the
Hey, that's not
Okay.
bad. That's not
Shout out to them, man. Just blew out
they
Oklahoma
beat out
49
Oklahoma.
to whatever.
When he was
Not
that
good,
guy.
yeah.
But without further ado, that has been the 4th Street. It has been me, Smooth Oss, your host, with Charlie Luttrell,
Dog.
Jackson Howell. I'm saying out y'all hoes' names. I don't know. I feel like I'm giving out y'all government. But it has been me with Charlie, Jackson, Nathan,
Dog.
and shout out to Sky in the booth. And we miss you, Dima, man. We're looking forward to you coming back, man. He'll be also, make sure to, he'll be back with our next episode coming out, which will be our prediction on the homecoming game coming up this week against Arkansas State. I forgot to mention that. It's homecoming, guys. So it'll be fun to be around that atmosphere here. So we'll have the prediction playlist coming out soon, which will drop Friday, of course. But without further ado, make sure that you check us out on all podcast platforms. Continue to check out the stream on Southern Miss Student Media on YouTube. And don't forget to always tune in to 4th Street on our social media platforms because we're live, baby. So without further ado, this has been 4th Street signing off.
Without
3, 2, 1. This has been the 4th Street Sports Show. Tune in next Monday at 5.